Every day is where we are failing our own society. And I don't know whether my words mean anything or the next man. But I was sitting here and the, the Spirit came to me and said, "You've learned enough to be able to speak." And I'm speaking, not because I choose to, because there are days that I feel like Jonah and want to run, because I feel as though no one's going to heed my warnings anyhow. But then I know that you can't escape the Lord. You just can't. No matter where you try to go, He is there. If I went to the top of the Alps, He is there. If I went to the deepest abyss, He is there. If I went to the darkest hole, He is there. If I went to the deepest closet, He is there. If I went, He's there. Ezekiel, and the Lord said to him, "Pass through the city, through Jerusalem, and put a mark on the foreheads of the men who sigh and groan over all the abominations that are committed in it." What do we consider abominations today? Our moral compasses have been so magnetically altered. See, because there's a natural course of deviation in true north and magnetic north already in the world. I don't know if people can relate to this, because if you know anything about maps, there's a true north, but then there's a magnetic course that the earth provides that it wants you to travel or set your compasses to. And that's the way of the world. The way of the world is a very dangerous place to be. The way of the world has lots of evils in it that if you don't know how to navigate them by following teachers, or back in the day, the rabbi, or back in the day, the tutors or the mentors that we call today, to help you through those things, help you understand those things, to explain to you the shortcomings that you don't see in yourself because they see them in you, because they were you in that life before they accepted the counsel and conviction and correction of the Lord. It's a hard thing to get to that place where you accept all those things from God, because you feel like you're stripping away somebody that you loved. And God said, treat your fellow man as you love yourself. And how can you kill yourself? But to bear your cross daily, you have to kill yourself daily. Because that old man don't die. Every time you wake up, those old thoughts rise up with you. But we deny. We deny. Denial is probably our least redeeming attribute. Though we don't want to face it, we don't want to call it, we don't want to name it, we don't want to say it, we don't want to act hypocritical. Because though we may not like the things that we call the sins of the earth, we have people in our family who commit those sins, but we love those people and we can't condemn them because we don't want to lose their love, because they are part of us and our heart hurts because they don't walk like we do. But we can't make everybody walk like we do. But we're the ones ostracized and villainized when we allow people to quiet our voice while other voices are loud and are allowed to speak bravely, boldly, uncontrolled, unfettered, whatever word you can find that can define being unrestrained. But we have to have restraint. I've been studying laments, and the Psalms have a lot of hymns of lament where they talk about how we, before we became Christian, sought God to be our avenger. And I ask, did we forget that Jesus is a Jew? Do we think Jesus didn't know the Psalms of Lament? Because he said he didn't come to abolish the law. And the Psalms were part of every young Jew, man and girl, study program as a child. They had to know the Psalms. So, how can we condemn laments asking God to show us the way back to Him, even if it means asking Him to abolish those things are reputable in our society? The violence has become chaotic. And whether they want to face it or not, there are people that are fueling these things that want to see the chaos ignite into an explosion that someone has to make a decision on. That's sad to say, but that's what man does. He takes the catalyst and he manipulates it. He weaponizes it. And then he says, oh, look what happened. You could have prevented this by doing this. But he doesn't tell you the part that he did in the background that caused it to be more lethal than it should have been. Because we've always been flawed. We've always had bullies. We've always had those that pick fights. But we chose to lose our neighborhoods. We chose to mind our own business. We chose a lot of choices we made now. God has allowed our lives to harden our hearts to see who'll turn back to Him. We can call on Jesus all we want to, but we're missing the mystical, supernatural, already born into us attribute of God's Spirit that lies dormant inside each of us, that gives us the boldness to stand up and proclaim God as our Savior and able to speak, whether, because part of Christianity is mean that what better gift could you give than to give your life for your brother? Because that's what love is. People think that those soldiers that become Bronze Star and Gold Stars and posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor, they weren't automatically given the attribute of courage to run out in the face of danger, but love moved them. Love for their fellow brothers, because camaraderie sparks a love that most men will never learn anything about. And it's sad that we fail to see that camaraderie, brotherhood, sisterhood, familyhood is the tying factor for everything. Look at that rice for me, son. We miss many things in life, but the most common thing we miss is how potentially important family is, and it's spoken of so many times in the Bible, especially in the beginning, because even though Cain slew Abel, God allowed Cain to live, that Adam may know it's good, may know that his son had a chance towards salvation. Even though his mark was put upon his forehead, that everybody be able to know who he was. Judgment is not for man, judgment is for God. So we don't know where Cain wound up, because that's a mystery to us. I don't understand us sometimes. I remember me being a wild, unbridled chomping at the bit, rambunctious, excitable young man, ready to rule the world. Thought I was smarter, brighter, quicker, faster, stronger than any other man I ever encountered. And by the time the realities of life began to catch up with me, my body had begun to decay. But yet God has spared me, and I thank the Lord. But the Lord passed through the city, and it says Jerusalem here, but passed through Camden, passed through New Bern, passed through Pamlico, Bayboro, Oriental, passed through Arapahoe, Smyrna, Ocracoke, passed through Durham, Raleigh, passed through Patterson, New Jersey, passed through San Diego, Newport. You know, I'm saying cities I know something about. And put a mark on the foreheads of the men who sigh and groan over the abominations that are committed in it. How many of us stop and sigh, a deep sigh, a heavy sigh, a heartfelt sigh, a sigh of contemplation, thinking, what can I do to help relieve and remedy this? You know, a sigh that says, help me, Lord, because I don't know where to turn. I surrender this, I give this, I put this in your hands. Help me, Lord, because you are the only way that we can make it through this. Help me, Lord, because I don't know where to turn. Help me now, God, because I need you. See, and I come here because I know I have to learn how to do these things. Because if I get up in front of people, I've talked too long, and now might be too long. But I love you guys, so I hope you heard me.